traditions. And so too, that was the case here in the day. So we have a very complex region. Next slide. So the Spanish start recording, and that's when history changes from prehistory. Native people don't like the word prehistory generally because it implies no history. And that's not the case, obviously. As an archaeologist, I put a lot of history in prehistory. But for us, the recorded record begins when journalists first come through. As early as 1542, Juan Rodriguez Cabrillo sails up just 20 years after Cortez conquers Tenochtitlan, Mexico City, and the Aztecs. And they move westward, and they coincidentally discover the Pacific. How can you discover that? But okay, they did for Europe. And so they begin building ships and creating a maritime trade. They make it to the Orient. These ships start making passage across the Pacific, and they're looking for ports and harbors where they can refill their water casks and get fresh food. And so there's an interest in the California coast because these ships oftentimes make landfall in California, stay offshore, and then head south to San Blas and Acapulco, where they unload their cargo from China. So there was this maritime conveyor belt that was developing, and California became party to that. And so Cabrillo's task was to sail up the coast and look for safe harbors. They were also looking for a passage to connect the Atlantic Ocean with the Pacific, which we know didn't exist, or doesn't exist, but they didn't without Google Earth. And so what they did was they sent expeditions for it. So Cabrillo sets forth, he gets up to the Channel Islands, where he's amazed by the Chumash people of Santa Barbara, who have ocean-going canoes. They stitched plank canoes together, made out of redwood, and so that the Channel Islands were occupied by thousands of people. So Cabrillo gets out with his banners, I'm going to claim this is for His Imperial Highness of Spain, as they were wont to do, and the Indians were watching this whole show, and he slips on the algae-covered rocks and breaks his arm. Well, that'll do him in. Actually, he gets gangrenous later on the voyage, he dies. But these become first contacts from our perspective.